Lobianco. And now, live from the legendary Paramount in Huntington, Long Island. Are you ready? For everybody in the building and those watching live on Fight.tv, it's about to go down. Somebody make some noise! Your main event is brought to you by Model Sporting Goods and Core BTS. We've got 10 rounds for the WBC FECARBOX Silver Super Lightweight Championship. And now, introducing first, fighting out in the blue corner tonight, he wears blue and white. He weighed in at 138.4 pounds. His record, 10 victories versus 4 defeats with 1 win, coming by way of knockout. From the fighting city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, introducing Jerome, the Conqueror, Conquest. And now, his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. Tonight he wears the red, white, and blue, weighing in at 139.6 pounds. His record, 17 victories, 2 defeats, 1 draw, and 7 big wins coming by way of knockout. Representing Universal Boxing Gym, fighting out of Woodhaven, New York. Presenting Danny El Gallo.
Referee Al Lobianco calls the fighters to the center of the ring. Daniel Gonzalez in the white trunks, Jerome Conquest in the blue. Junior welterweight contest. And if you can believe it, Daniel Gonzalez was once a fat kid. His weight was once around 220 pounds. Schoolmates made fun of him. He took himself to the gym, and here he is in his 4th main event at the Paramount, becoming quite a staple here for Star Boxing. On the rise, Daniel Gonzalez against Jerome Conquest, who said he's coming out fast.
And he did. He sprinted across the ring.
He didn't give me a chance to say it.
I know. He beat you to the punch. Let me tell you, Danny Gonzalez has been, like you said, a staple at this arena. 10 showings. He's fought 10 times here. And, you talk about heart, he's got a lot of it. And, he had a very tough loss to Algieri in his last fight. But he's coming back. He's fighting for his biggest, actually, this is probably the most prestigious belt he's fought for so far, the WBC FECARBOX title. Now, if he wins this, he will be in the top 15. I think that qualifies you to be in the top 15 in the world by the WBC, which he'll be 18-2.
I think he belongs there.
Yeah. I think if he wins this belt and he beats a very tough Conquest, yes, he does. He belongs there, and he needs to get a shot.
Well, in my mind, the best 140-pounders on this planet are guys by the name of Regis Prograis, Rougarou, Josh Taylor. They're going to be fighting probably in September.
Almost go on that one.
Oh, that's going to be probably, has all the earmarkings of fight of the year. Also, Maurice Hooker, 26-0, the WBO 140-pound champion. He's going to be going up next weekend against Jose Ramirez, 24-0, the WBC champion. So those are 4 of the very best on this planet. But you know what? Just about anybody else, I'd like to see Daniel Gonzalez or Jerome Conquest. Whoever wins this fight, put him in a big one.
Let me tell you, Joe DeGuardia, he gets his guys in big fights. If they perform and they win these smaller belts and these North American belts, he always gets them that opportunity. And I can tell you that. I've seen it throughout the years, and he's had very big success. I mean, Joe Smith and Cletus and, the Hebrew Hammer and all these guys, Algieri, all these guys have had their shot. Nice left hand by Conquest.
By the southpaw Conquest. Now, there's all kind of schools of thought how you fight a southpaw.
Oh, nice shot by Gonzalez.
If you want to trade with the guy, if you want to get right in there, you got to get your lead foot, your left foot almost just inside of his right leg. He's got his right leg out in front. Step a little bit towards the center and then throw your right hand. And as Jerry Cooney always says, stop going for the head, especially early in the fight when the guy has all his juice. Throw to the body.
Danny Gonzalez, you know, let me tell you something. He'll brawl, he'll box, he'll listen, he'll fight your fight if you want him to. But he's good in all positions.
Close competitive round, that first one. This one's scheduled for 10.
Social media, Starboxing on
And
Facebook,
we
Instagram, and Twitter.
saw
and also, don't
in an
forget to
earlier
visit the
fight
merchandise booth.
with Dennis
We've got
Okoth
t-shirts, hats,
going 8
hoodies,
rounds to win a decision. What 8 rounds could do in this heat and humidity.
Make sure you check out some of the awesome merchandise tonight.
Another packed crowd here at the Paramount. You're looking into the corner of southpaw Jerome Conquest out of Philadelphia. And across the ring, ready to go, Daniel Gonzalez. Daniel with a record of 17-2-1, 7 by way of knockout. Conquest 10-4 with 1 knockout.
Nice give and take by Gonzalez and Conquest.
Al Bianco is a referee who will let guys work out of it. When you start getting like this, no, come on. You can see the look on Lo Bianco's face. Now, come on, don't do that.
Well, he's not going to allow these guys to hold for 10 rounds. I'll tell you that. You know, he'll give him a little bit. He'll give him a little bit of slack. He'll give him a little bit of rope. Nice body shot by Gonzalez.
Well, there the holding is being done by Conquest. He's wrapping that right hand around the back of Gonzalez. And let's see who does most of the holding here. Once again, the right arm around the back of Gonzalez. Lo Bianco caught that. He said, come on, watch it.
Oh, nice on the top of the head. Doesn't seem to affect Conquest. Oh, now that's Conquest holding right there. He punches his way out of it. Lo Bianco lets him punch himself. We was speaking to him before that. And he lets them punch their way out of those clinches.
I like when a referee does that.
Yeah.
When he lets you work your way out of it instead of imposing himself all the time. With some referees do that.
Every single time they tie up.
Let them work their way out of it. But don't let them hold on too long. That time Conquest started to grab and he thought twice about it, and then he let him go. And I believe if a guy holds too much, and what is too much? You speak to him twice, speak to him 3 times, and Conquest is claiming a low blow. This is getting dirty.
Listen, it was on the belt. It wasn't low.
Yeah.
You know, and you know what? Gonzalez isn't that type of fighter either. He's not a type of guy that's going to hit low and try to do some dirty stuff like that. I really don't believe that. I've watched him quite a bit.
But he's a stamina kind of fighter. If he throws 100 punches around, he just won't get tired.
No, not at all.
And neither guy is a big puncher.
Ooh, nice right hand by Gonzalez.
You can see a lot of this fight, I believe, is going to be fought on the inside.
Which I think Gonzalez plays right into Gonzalez's hands, Randy.
Gonzalez just moving those hands in close, banging the body.
He wants to make this a brawl.
And Lo Bianco goes over to the corner of Conquest and has some words with him. I'm not sure what he said, but you know what? He's now going over to the other corner and saying something to Danny Gonzalez. So my guess is it something to the effect of, come on, guys, keep it clean, watch the home?
You know, and listen, and this is the time to do it. In between rounds, you go up, you say something to them, and you give them a little bit of a warning. Hey, listen, guys, let's kind of mix it up. Let's not hold. Let's make this an exciting fight. And that's when you do the talking. You don't constantly badger the fighters during the round. And you give them that opportunity. And when they don't do it, then you penalize them.
Well, let's see if Conquest listens, because he was telling me the other day that he's a boxer. He said, I could get in the middle of the ring and I could box there all night long. Let's see if he does. And right now, he's certainly not fighting the fight that he fought in the first and second round, which was right on the inside. But there goes that right arm wrapping around the back of Gonzalez, holding once again.
A couple of nice shots by Conquest. A couple of good body shots by Conquest. Ooh, and Gonzalez comes back with that nice hook.
4 right hands in a row by Conquest.
And one back up to the head. And let me tell you, Conquest is used to being in those gym wars and those heated sparring sessions in Philly. You know, so he's going to come and he's going to attack. Let's see how good a shape he's in, though.
You know,
I'll tell you, when you take him into deep waters, we know Gonzalez can do it. Let's see if Conquest can keep the pace up right now. He's got a pretty decent pace in this third round.
You know, you talk about those gym wars, and I got to smile because I saw back in the day, in the 60s, in the early 70s, the gym wars of, I saw Joe Frazier in action. I saw some of the great middleweights, Benny Briscoe, Cyclone Hart, Bobby Boogaloo Watts.
Wow.
I would have paid
You're naming
admission.
some big names from the past, boy. Yeah. You're giving an education to the people that are watching right now to some of those names coming out of Philly.
Yeah, get onto BoxRec and look them up. Bobby Boogaloo Watts, Eugene Cyclone Hart.
You know, just some of the great fighters came out of Philly. I mean, it's just amazing that that town is filled with them. And you know what? You got guys, even guys that aren't the top of the line guys. Philly guys are tough.
They really
tough,
are.
hard-nosed guys.
You know, one of my favorite fighters right now is from Philadelphia.
Right by Danny Gonzalez.
Right. I was about to say Jesse Hart, the son of Cyclone Hart, light heavyweight. One of my favorite fighters, all-action fighter. Here we are, round number 3, scheduled for 10 in this 140-pound bout, junior welterweight bout, between Danny Gonzalez and Jerome Conquest. Conquest in the blue trunks.
Nice shot by Conquest. I would say, even though Danny Gonzalez landed a couple of great shots, I would say this is Conquest's best round so far.
I asked both of them who their favorite fighters are. Danny Gonzalez said Miguel Cotto and current WBC welterweight champion Sean Porter. Jerome Conquest, the late great Sweet Pea Whitaker. You see the face that Conquest made when the bell rang? The camera, he happened to be looking right into the Star Boxing cameras, and he kind of just shook his head, rolled his eyes like, I'm having trouble with this guy.
Get off.
I'm frustrated. But he did fight a different fight that time where he tried to keep it at a distance, but Danny just won't let it be. He stays all over him. Here we are on Friday night, July 19th. Tomorrow, of course, the big fight in the desert. Lost Wages, Nevada. Manny Pacquiao, Keith Thurman. Randy G here, along with Big Nick. And Nick Jerome. You got any pick on that Pacquiao-Thurman fight?
You know what? Thurman impresses me. He's younger, but you can never count out Pacquiao. It just, yeah, I want to say, my head says go with Thurman, but my heart and my logic say you can never really go with against Pacquiao. Who do you got?
Straight left hand by Conquest. Had to be one of his best punches of the fight. It landed flush. Center of the face of Danny Gonzalez, who continually puts that pressure on.
Oh, nice little right hook by Conquest. Tries it again, but Gonzalez too smart for it. Blocks that.
Conquest off to his best start in any round. Here in round number 4, as we approach the midpoint of this round, round number 4. Manny Pacquiao, I remember back in January when he fought Adrian Broner. Broner said, I'm going to beat that old man. I'm going to retire him. All that did was spur him on. And Pacquiao did just about the other way, just about retired Adrian Broner. We haven't seen him in action since then.
Oh, nice shot. Oh, it looks like he hurt him. Looks like Gonzalez
let's
hurt
see.
him. With a minute left, let's see. Oh, another shot. Oh, hits him with another overhand right. Danny Gonzalez is putting the pressure on right now.
Remember, if Danny lacks one thing, it's that one punch, devastating knockout power. But he makes up for it by throwing around 100 punches around.
No doubt about it. And listen, he had Conquest hurt, and it looks like Conquest has sort of weathered the storm and looks like he's kind of at least protected himself. But then Gonzalez comes back, and so does Conquest. This is a great exchange right here.
Terrific round. So Danny's had his moments coming back in the second half of this round. The first half of the round, all Conquest. Put this round in the books.
You know what? Let me tell you, that's a tough round to score because, you know,
yes, it is.
Gonzalez had him hurt, but there was times in that round that Conquest definitely was the aggressor and definitely won the exchanges.
I gave that round to Jerome Conquest on the strength of his first 90 seconds of the round. He was just he was doing what he wanted to do. I thought that the next 90 seconds were more exciting than the first 90 seconds, but it was give and take. They both had their moments. I gave that round to Conquest. And just like the weather, this fight is heating up.
I love it. Fifth round.
Both guys actually came into the fight with a sweat. Very difficult not to sweat in this kind of weather. And downstairs here at the Paramount, I mean, they have nice dressing rooms, but it's still a muggy kind of night. And that heat index over the weekend up in the northeast corridor is going to be well over 100.
Oh, nice shot by Gonzalez. But Conquest came out keeping that stick moving, real busy with it.
Oh, you see what Conquest did there? He fell into a clinch, grabbed with one hand and punched with the other. There's some slapping shots with the right jab by Conquest. A couple of right jabs blocked on the gloves of Danny Gonzalez. Whoops. Aldo Bianco, sometimes the referee finds himself in a wrong position. That time he almost got bumped into.
Tell you something, I really have to hand it to our camera guys tonight. Every single angle that they're getting, I mean, just really giving those fans the right up, giving them like they're right up and close and personal with this whole fight.
You know what?
Great job.
The camera guys are very rarely given credit, and I'm so glad you did that. Because you're right, they're all over the place tonight. They're right on it. Conquest with his back to the ropes, and once again hanging on. Referee's got to get between them. There comes a point, now here we are midway through the fight, where I would say 90-some-odd% of the clinches are being initiated by Jerome Conquest. There's got to come a point where the referee steps in and says, one more time, I'm going to take a point. See, he's grabbing on there, trying to hold on, but Danny's not letting him out.
Danny Garcia, he threw a lot of punches, and you know, I think he counts on the fact, can you keep up with my pace? Can you keep up with my pace for 10 rounds? Nice body shot.
Oh.
That was totally unintentional, but nonetheless, doesn't take away from the pain. and it's a hard thing to take for fighters. When you get hit there, boy, you know it right away.
Well, sometimes yes. You know, I still go back to that left uppercut that Jerry Cooney once landed on Larry Holmes. I get it. But there are some shots, you know, and especially Danny Gonzalez is not the biggest banger in the world, and sometimes a guy goes for a DQ and they go for the Academy Award. I don't know if Conquest is doing that or not, but it definitely didn't look like it was that kind of shot. Although it wasn't my south of the border.
I was just going to say that, Randy. I go, yeah, easy for you to say.
Yeah, easy for me to say. You know, sometimes you watch it. You know, I've
You
been in there.
didn't get hit that hard. No, but no, I get your point. We got 6 in the books, Randy. What do you think?
What does Conquest
I'm
think?
sorry, 5 in the books.
Conquest.
I do apologize. 5 in the books.
I think that Danny Gonzalez has won 4 of the 5 rounds, and I think that a lot of the fight is coming out of Conquest now. And of course, if he does lose it, I think at one point he's going to say, that low blow took it out of me. That's Danny Gonzalez, where we were just looking at. There's Jerome Conquest. Former contender Wade Hinnick working his corner. Danny up and ready. Aldo Bianco where he should be, center of the ring. The referee should always be in the center of the ring, and it's time. Danny comes out. I wonder if anybody at home is counting punches. Counting punches from a guy like Danny Gonzalez is so much fun. Most guys don't throw more than 50 punches around, sometimes 60. Danny Gonzalez, I've counted before. He's gotten up to about, I think the most I ever saw in one round from him was about 120. A couple of shots blocked. Body shot got in by Conquest.
Nice left hook by Conquest.
Looked to me that shot might have been picked off. And Danny keeps showing referee Aldo Bianco, I'm not holding on. Here he comes again. Danny wants to make a brawl out of it. Let's see who's holding on. There's that right arm wrapped around the back. And that was I didn't like what I saw there. Neither did Aldo Bianco. He was holding with the right hand and punched with the left as the referee was getting between them to break.
Oh, nice straight lead right hand by Danny Gonzalez. I think at this stage of the game, Gonzalez just wants to bait him into an exchange. Nice little
Well, of course, in his last fight, Danny Gonzalez lost the decision to former world champion Chris Algieri. And I asked Danny Gonzalez, what'd you learn from the fight? Anything? As long as you learned something. He said, oh, did I learn something? He said, I really did. I think I came out of that fight a better fighter. Danny taking an unusual rest. Usually he doesn't rest this long. Final 45 seconds of round number 6.
I think he hurt Conquest with that right hook.
Conquest still got a little bit of snap on that right jab. Nice body shot by Conquest. Bad place for Conquest on the inside.
No doubt about it, and Conquest tries to hold on, which, listen, between me and you, was smart in that position. You know, he's been holding on a lot. Oh, little cut over the right eye of Conquest.
I thought I was about to say, is that blood I see? Yeah, it is. Now, was that a headbutt?
Well, you know what? He winced. And I don't know if it was from a punch or the head of Danny Gonzalez, but he did wince when that happened. And I said, well, maybe that was from a punch. But he definitely caught a bad one on the lid.
Let's see what Aldo Bianco, whether he's going to rule it a head or a punch. And the reason I say that, because if it was an accidental head, and at any point Conquest cannot continue, they would go to the scorecards.
How do you know so much about the rules?
Hey, you know what? You spent 7 years as commissioner doing them and making them up. And what's so funny, too, I mean, I love all the guys out there on every network that you possibly see. But it amazes me how many of them that just don't know the rules. And I find myself, when I'm watching at home, screaming at the television, no, that's not the rule.
Listen, let me tell you, I'm not too proud to say this, but, you know, I know the game and I watch hundreds and hundreds of fights, thousands. But, you know, there's certain things that, you know, I obviously, you know, you're the expert on that.
Listen, I watch football games. I watch baseball games. I watch every sport, basketball game. Most of the announcers, and I love them all, they don't know every rule in the book, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But I spent years writing the rule book.
A nice little pop shot by Gonzalez. Nice little combination. Conquest tries to hit.
Oh, look at this. Conquest now putting on the pressure and almost diving in. You can see that he almost wants revenge. I think he feels that it was a headbutt. The thing is, when you get a southpaw against a right-hander, many times you're going to have two fighters butting heads, and that blood seems to be bothering Conquest. Danny dropping the hands. A couple of stiff jabs by Danny. Conquest tries to get in and grab him. Danny will have no part of being grabbed. Now Danny with his back to the ropes. That's a place you don't see him land very much. Conquest moving in. One of the few times in the fight that he's really taking it right to Danny Gonzalez. He did it about a minute ago. But Danny's still having a good round, and once again, Conquest holding on. And Danny gets warned about use of the head. Conquest moving in, putting on the pressure. And now it's Danny putting on the pressure. Conquest reaches to try to grab him. Danny gets out of it. Keeps those hands moving. The Conqueror gets in a left hand. Now gets out of the way of several shots.
Coming to the end of this round, I gotta give this round, even though, listen, Conquest is fighting back, but I gotta give this round again to Gonzalez.
Yeah, I think so. They are sweating profusely.
Look at Al Lobianco. Al Lobianco is sweating hard. He looks like he's been in a fight. Eight, 9, 10.
This is a very close fight as we head to the 7th round. And so far, I think it's been most of the pressure of Danny Gonzalez. You know, we've had some very competitive fights here tonight. The only one that wasn't a close decision was the Tyrone James fight, our co-feature here tonight, as he stopped Ray Oliveira in the 2nd round. Of course, Oliveira. And, you know, when we had Tyrone James over here, we asked him, Ray Oliveira thought it was a quick stoppage. And the obvious answer is everybody who gets stopped says it was a quick stoppage.
100%. And let me tell you, you know, Danny is putting a workman's-like effort in right now. He's winning rounds. He's throwing a lot of punches, and he's scooping up these rounds. And I'll tell you right now, Conquest is coming back here and there, but I would say overall on a round, 2 good body shots though by Conquest. Real good body shots that got Gonzalez's attention.
Lobianco separates and takes a look at both of them. I mean, at this point, in round number 8, exhaustion really has to be setting in. Now, I'm wondering, when they come out for the next round, are they going to go on a little bit of a vacation and save it for the 10th round?
That's a good point. I'll tell you right now, I'm enjoying this fight, and it's a lot of action. And you know, I think Danny Gonzalez knows what this fight means to him. He picks up this win, and he's right in the catbird seat in a big opportunity, I think, to get a good, meaningful fight.
Oh, absolutely. Conquest trying his best. Oh, he had him in the headlock and then almost landed that right hand. You were wondering if he was gonna throw it, but he thought better of it. That time he got in a straight left hand to the face of Danny Gonzalez.
He sure did. Good punch by Conquest.
Another good body shot by Conquest. But Danny just won't get off his case. Making a brawl out of it. Final seconds, there we go.
It's a good round, but looked like it took its toll on Conquest and looked a little tired going back to the corner.
Now, the question is, I don't think Danny shot whatever he had that round.
No.
It could be that Conquest did. We shall see.
We shall see, exactly. You got 2 rounds.
Nick, if you're in the corner of Jerome Conquest, what do you tell him this round?
I'm telling him, listen to me. You've got to stay out. You've got to stay away from the inside game of Danny Gonzalez. You've got to fight from the outside. You got to set up your big punches with your jab, and you got to keep them at the end. But you got to keep them at the end of your jab. Every time they get an exchange in close, Gonzalez comes away and wins those exchanges. Right now, though, I think really you got to apply the pressure. The next 2 rounds, you have to win impressively. You're not going to win this fight. I think Gonzalez stacked too many rounds under his belt early.
Aldo Bianco holds them up as Gonzalez was ready and Conquest wasn't. Another splendid show put on by Joe DeGuardia and Star Boxing. Rockin Fights 35. Aldo Bianco looks at the guys and says, come on, bring it on. I know this, when I get home later, I gotta do a little replay on this, and I gotta count the punches by Danny Gonzalez. He does a paint job on you. Up and down, back and forth, giving you what I call a leather shampoo.
I love it. I love the paint job line, too. He does a paint job on you.
Well, the veteran, the late, great Hall of Famer Gil Clancy once said to me, I once heard that term from him, and I kind of smiled, and he said, try to picture a guy has paint on his gloves, and every time he touches you, he's going to leave an impression. Well, figure that one guy is throwing so many shots that when the bell rings ending the round, the other guy is going to be completely covered in paint. That means he got touched everywhere.
It's a great, great expression.
He said, so the judge has got to see that. And it seems like they both have taken their foot off the gas a little bit here in the 9th round, as we kind of expected they might.
They might be doing exactly what you're saying. Listen, they're both throwing some punches, and they're both trying to be active. But I think, you know what? I think we're going to see if this goes into the 10th round, I think that 10th round is going to be a barn burner.
Well, I think with Danny Gonzalez it could be, because he works to win every single round. And I think Conquest, he's a defeated fighter right now, and he's trying his best. His best isn't good enough. But the question is, does Danny try to prevent any headbutts and maybe go into a defensive shell and give the round away?
I just don't think that's in Danny's makeup.
Exactly.
I don't think. Whoa, did you see that? He threw him down on the ground. Well, let me tell you something. That was
Conquest is mentally beaten. Conquest is physically beaten. Conquest even walked into the wrong corner unless he was going after Danny Gonzalez.
I think he was going to say something to Gonzalez, but he got thrown down. Let me tell you, this round, it's obvious that Conquest needs a knockout here, but I'm looking forward to this round because I think Danny Gonzalez is going to give this Paramount crowd a round to remember and send these fans home with a great finish to a fight.
This is the 10th and final round. There's Jerome Conquest. Wonder what he's thinking right now. There's Danny Gonzalez. Wonder what he's thinking right now as they've got a cold cowl over him. And I am really wondering what happened with those safety mats, which we saw early on the card tonight, but since we haven't seen them again. Here we go, 10th and final round. Danny Gonzalez, no surprise, no defensive shell. Out he comes.
Throwing his punches, staying active.
Danny, a non-stop punching machine.
It's just jaw-dropping how many punches he throws. Conquest hitting to the body, a couple of good shots to the body, but Gonzalez at this stage of the game, he's going to need something bigger than a couple of big body shots. He's got to come up with a big knockout here, Conquest, to pull this off. And I don't think he's going to get it. You know, Danny has a great chin, and he's in great shape always, and he throws a lot of punches, and he keeps guys out. Oh, wait, that's a good body shot by Gonzalez. I think he hurt Conquest with that body shot.
I think he did. Conquest bent over, and his body language said, I am hurt. But yet he comes back. He might be hurt, but he has one big heart. He is planting his feet and saying, come on, Danny, take it to me. Danny just letting him go, trying to stop him, but Conquest not backing off.
Oh, nice left hook by Gonzalez. I think he hurt Conquest with that left hand, but Conquest, he keeps throwing punches.
Conquest staggered on that one. 45 seconds remaining in the fight.
Great shots by Gonzalez. But let me tell you something. Conquest is showing a lot of heart, Randy.
Yes, he is.
He really is. He's showing a lot of heart. He's keeping throwing punches. And he threw a nice hook. But I think Gonzalez is just too much. Landing too many shots. No, that was bad. That honestly that was ridiculous, actually. And I love Danny Gonzalez.
The fight's going to end here, but Conquest is totally mentally and physically spent. Let's see if they hug each other. And no love here. Okay, they gave each other a high five. There we go. Good sportsmanship by Conquest, but he is not a happy fighter.
Not at all. Let me tell you, Gonzalez's pace is just tiring, even to watch.
I have it 99-91.
Same here.
For Danny Gonzalez. And I think the scores are going to be very similar to that, 98, 92 perhaps, maybe 97, 93. But I totally expect that Danny Gonzalez is going to win the fight, and I would love to get him over with us. First to congratulate him, and then say what was with some of those rough tactics, you know, because those questions have to be asked. You threw him down a couple of times, Danny.
I would say Gonzalez came back strong after that loss. Bout Jerry. Got himself a win, won himself a belt, and I think he sets himself up, Randy. You tell me, I think he sets himself up for maybe not a title fight. Well, let's not get, to that level with this fight, but sets him up with a meaningful fight to put him in the picture or the conversation.
No question about it. I mean, Joe DeGuardia about to jump up on the ring and jump in the ring with his fighter, Danny Gonzalez, who I gotta believe is gonna up his record. Yet another victory for Danny Gonzalez. Again, I got it 99-91. And Nick, did you
I have
keep
the
tabs
same
on?
thing,
Same thing?
99-91 for Gonzalez. I thought he pressured Conquest, and he stayed on him just too much, didn't let him breathe the whole fight. Did Conquest have a couple of good moments? Yes, but Gonzalez controlled the entire fight, and I don't see this even being a close fight at all.
Well, as we wait for the decision, right now, Danny Gonzalez 17-2-1. Conquest is 10-4-1. Let's see what happens to their records now. A smiling Joe DeGuardia talks to Danny Gonzalez, and a very unhappy Jerome Conquest saying whatever he wants to whomever he wants. And the scorecards have been marked. And I believe Jazz Sokoto has them now and is waiting to tell us who's won the fight. Jazz Sokoto, take it away, buddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for an incredible main event tonight. After 10 rounds of championship boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. James Kinney scores it 99-91. Kevin Morgan scores it 96-94. And Tony Paolillo scores it 97-93. All for your winner by unanimous decision and new WBC FECARBOX Silver Super Lightweight Champion, Danny Gallo Gonzalez.
Well, nothing controversial about that decision, with the exception of maybe Judge Kevin Morgan, who had it 96-94 for the right guy. So they all had it right, 96-94, 97-93, 99-91, the way Nick Garone and myself, Randy G, had it. 99-91 to the winner of this 10-rounder and the WBC FECARBOX champion. Danny Gonzalez now 18-2. And Jerome, the Conqueror Conquest, was beaten tonight. He's 10-5. And boy, oh boy, did he take a lick in the last half of the fight there. We're going to try to get Danny Gonzalez over here because we want to hear what he has to say about, A, his performance, and B, some of the rough tactics in there, his thoughts on this fight and where he goes next. Because I truly believe that he should be in against a top contender very soon. There's Danny Gonzalez and his team.
This is a big
Don't
win
forget,
for him,
ladies and
man.
gentlemen,
Really
our
is a
next
big win
event
for
will
him.
be at the Resorts World Catskills.
is.
We're back for Catskills Clash 2.
A good night for
September
everybody.
7th, and then we are back right here at the
Packed crowd, another packed crowd here at the Paramount in Huntington, Long Island, which has truly become like the blue horizon of boxing.
And you know what? I just listen. Star Boxing does just such an incredible job. They're
Yeah.
always putting on fights. They're constant and they're consistent. And you got to give it to Joe DeGuardia and Star Boxing and the job that they do, especially at this home base, so to speak, at the Paramount Theater.
Okay, we're being joined by Danny Gonzalez here as he puts on his headset. There we go.
Okay.
You were just treating that headset as rough as you treated Conquest. Congratulations. Nick and I had you winning 99-91. When you heard those scores, 99-91, no surprise.
Yeah.
Even 97-93.
Yeah.
But 96-94, did that surprise you?
You know, some of them judges, they look at different stuff. He was throwing a jab. It wasn't effective. Every shot I landed hurt him.
You know, let me tell you something, Danny. When you fight someone, over the course of a fight, you wear them down. You wear them down. He actually had a couple of moments here and there, but as soon as he got one punch in, you almost put him in his place again and said, hey, you ain't getting away with that.
I call it the avalanche. You hit me with one, I'm going to shoot the avalanche on you.
Yeah.
Danny, I got to tell you that your opponent showed one heck of a lot of cojones.
Yeah.
Because he got hit with shots. You were throwing upwards. Usually you are one of those workmen in the sport.
Yeah, of course.
You throw upwards around 100 punches around. But at times it got a little bit dirty in there. He was holding you a lot. Were you getting frustrated?
Nah, you know, I expected this. I already knew the fight was going to be awkward, specifically because he's a southpaw and I'm an orthodox. I want to fight. He kind of wants to fight, but he doesn't really do. He wants to kind of like box and hold. So I knew the styles would conflict, you know. I thought I had him out in the end of the last round. I think I dropped him twice, but they didn't give it to me. But whatever, you know, it is what it is.
You know, Danny, one thing I want to tell you, winning this belt, that's a big-time step.
Yeah, of course.
Because that puts you in like a top 15 in the world status.
Yeah.
You win one of their small North American belts, their intercontinental belts, that puts you into the mix and gives you an opportunity to fight maybe in a very, very meaningful fight coming up. You know, so this is a great step up. You come off the Algieri fight, you come back with a great win, win a belt, now you're right back in the mix. How's that make you feel?
You know, I'm blessed, man. I feel like God has gave me such a blessing in life. He put the right people in my corner, the right people around me in my life, and like everything that I ever worked hard for is working out. And I'm an example of impossible is nothing. I came from 250 pounds, out of shape, nothing, no motivation. I found boxing, and look at where I'm at. I got 2 titles at home now. And no one expected me to do anything when I was started as an amateur. Everyone blew me off. Right now I'm 18-2-1. I got the WBC title. I'm in the top 15, top 20, and I got big fights coming, man. You never stop working hard. It pays off.
You know, one of the things, and I'm sorry, Randy, one of the things I want to tell you, you know, Joe puts these fights on at the Paramount. This has become sort of your home base.
Yeah.
I mean, tell me what Joe DeGuardia and Star Boxing has meant to you and your career. I mean, he has really done, I think, a really good job with you, Danny.
Yeah. Now, you know, I have to give it to Joe, Star Boxing. They know how to move fighters, you know, they know what to do. They knew that I needed to get experience. They knew they needed to put me in certain fights to test me. They did all that, and every time, you know, if I didn't get it, I learned. And if I got the fight and I won, I moved on. So either way, the wins or the losses, I moved on, I kept getting better. They kept giving me opportunities, and all you can ask for in life is an opportunity.
Well, hey, let me tell you.
How soon do you want to get back in the ring? Are you hurting at all? You sore right now?
Nah, you give me a week off, you know, I'll probably still work out because I'm a fitness freak. But, you know, eat some food, spend some time with my girlfriend, you know, she supports me, I need to give her time. My family, you know, my friends, I don't really see nobody because I'm so into the gym. You know, spend some time with them, and then I get back and you know, start a new camp, figure out what the next options are, and keep moving forward. On one day, I will be world champion, and I will be an inspiration to many people out there.
Danny, it's always a pleasure watching you fight. Congratulations again. You're now 18-2-1, and you've now got a belt around you,
Thank
the
you, man.
WBC FECARBOX.
Yeah. Congratulations,
Thank you, man.
Dan.
Nice
You know I'm a
meeting
big
you,
fan.
man. Thank you.
All the best.
Fan.
Thank you,
So
guys.
he's with us right now as we're going to wrap it up, and it's been a tremendous night on
Always
Joe
following
DeGuardia,
your
Star
dream.
Boxing, Rockin' Fights 35. You saw some great fights tonight on Fight.tv. Tell your friends
He's
about
the
it.
best.
Want to thank our promoter, Joe DeGuardia, Star Boxing, our Fight TV crew. You guys did an amazing job. All of you who are watching. Nick Garone, it was a pleasure working with you,
Same
buddy.
here, Randy. Excellent
I'm
night.
Randy G. Have yourself a great rest of the night, a great weekend. Hey, stay cool, everybody. Keep drinking those liquids. Good night, everybody.